Ladies and gentlemen, for the 100th time, welcome back to Thick Riff Thursday. It's incredible that this series that I started doing kind of on a whim has turned into a weekly staple for not only me, but for a good amount of you guys as well. And that's incredible. The amount of people that come back week after week to watch this series is honestly beyond me. Writing riffs like this is just something I have always done anyway. And the fact that you guys enjoy it so much and that you come back week after week is honestly incredible. 100 episodes of Thick Riff Thursday would not have been possible without all you. I couldn't be more grateful for all the support you guys have given me over these 100 episodes. And man, we are just getting started. So cheers to another 100 episodes. You guys are awesome. So in honor of the 100th episode of Thick Riff Thursday, I'm super excited to announce the first ever Thick Riff Thursday riff contest, sponsored by Neural DSP. So before we get into the guidelines of this contest, let me show you guys the prizes. The prizes are for first, second, and third place. So the third place prize is one Neural DSP plugin of your choice. The second place prize is 2 Neural DSP plugins of your choice. And the first place prize is a Nano Cortex and 2 plugins of your choice. Huge thanks to Neural DSP for sponsoring this contest. Let's get into the guidelines of this contest, which there aren't many because I want to see how creative you guys can be. I'm super excited to see all of your entries. So first and foremost, the riff must be original. It is written by you and it is written specifically for this contest. Enforcing that is a little tricky, so it's mostly going to be on the honor system. So please write a riff specifically for this contest. Next, the riff must be between 30 and 60 seconds long. We don't want it to be too short. We want there to be some substance there, but we also don't want it to be too long. I want you guys to be able to go through the hashtag, watch a bunch of riffs. When we did the solo contest, one of my favorite things about that was seeing the whole community interact with each other, comment on each other's riffs, like each other's riffs, share each other's riffs. It was really cool to see. And while that doesn't necessarily have an impact on the outcome of the contest, I love that aspect of it. So yeah, the riff must be between 30 and 60 seconds long. Not too short, not too long. For example, you can take most of the riffs that we write on Thick Riff Thursday every week are between 30 and 60 seconds. The final guideline is a stylistic guideline. I would like these riffs to be in rock and metal adjacent genres, but I want you guys to be as creative as your heart desires when it comes to fusing genres and putting different elements, you know, maybe electronic synth elements in your riff, or jazz elements, or pop elements, or R&B elements. I just want the riffs to be at their core in the rock and metal genres, just like we do here on Thick Riff Thursday. Lastly, to enter the contest, it will be taking place on Instagram. So you're gonna upload a video of yourself playing your riff on Instagram, and you are going to follow Architect Tiger Studios on Instagram, follow Neural DSP on Instagram, and use the hashtag TRT2025riff contest. If you do not do those things, you will not be considered for the contest. So make sure you use that hashtag, make sure you follow those accounts, and make sure your Instagram account is set to public so anybody can view your videos, so we can be able to see your contest entries. I will personally be choosing the top 15 riffs that will then go into the voting stage. So the whole Thick Riff Thursday community can vote on their favorite riffs out of the top 15 that I choose. I also want to mention that writing a riff with drums and bass and production elements is not strictly required for the contest, but it is highly encouraged just because all of those things maximize the emotional impact of your riff. Of course, you can upload a video with camera audio and just solo guitar, and you will be considered for the contest. But I highly recommend that if you have the ability to record it in your DAW and program drums and record bass and mix it as best you can, just for presentation of your riff. I think that's just the best way to do your riff justice. Submissions for the contest will close on April 2nd at 11:59 Eastern time. So make sure you get your riffs in before that time, because if you submit after, you will not be considered for the contest. You can read a more detailed breakdown of the guidelines on the Architect Tiger Studios website. The link will be in the description. Please check that out before you enter into the contest so you can make sure your riff is following all the guidelines we have set out. So again, huge thanks to Neural DSP for sponsoring this contest and hooking us up with some amazing prizes. Check that Architect Tiger Studios link in the description for the detailed guidelines, and yeah, let's have some fun. So what better way to celebrate TRT 100 than to go back to the very first riff I ever recorded on Thick Riff Thursday. Thick Riff Thursday, episode 1. I want to go back and I want to add on to this riff and try to make this a full song, because I always loved this idea. It's actually on Thick Riff Sessions, Volume 1 on Spotify. It is the top streamed song on my entire Spotify. And of course, we're gonna do that using the Nano Cortex today. So I have this tone dialed in. I wanna tweak it a little bit because it's a little bit muddy, but I really like the capture I'm using. So I have this 5150 EL84 no cab capture that I'm using that I found on the Cortex Cloud. And then the cab is the Mesa with vintage 30s in it. That is an IR that comes on the Nano Cortex. And then I've just got a noise gate in the pre-effects. So it's a little woofy. Make this noise gate just a little tighter. Yeah, that sounds great. Just with those quick tweaks I made, that tone sounds much better. Okay, so I have not opened this session in, almost 2 years now. So this has got like all my old stuff in it. I just added some new tracks for the Nano Cortex, which the Nano Cortex, we are using it as our interface today. We do have our old tone that we were using, which was recorded DI. It's just using archetype Nolly. But you know what? I think we'll deal with that later. We can do some reamping with the Nano. I think we'll do that later. I think that'll be fun so we can get our tones matched up. But first, I think what we need to do, we're gonna pick some new drum sounds. It would be sick to use a newer drum library on this. We could use P5, but I'm thinking actually middle tone, ultimate heavy drums would be really good for this. Okay, so we've got the MIDI here. We gotta make sure stuff is mapped properly, let's see. And we gotta make sure this stuff is routed. So there we go. That should be routed correctly, which it is. Kick and snare sound good. I actually don't know if we used any toms on this riff. We didn't. It was just kick and snare. Cymbals. Cymbals are going to be a little more complicated. I guess we could just like glue these together, like glue all this together into one, just remap it all one by one. This is going to be a stack. I actually don't know if Ultimate Heavy Drums has a stack. You know what we could do? In Contact, my instance of Contact with Ultimate Heavy Drums in it, we can pop in an instrument that has a stack on it and kind of make somewhat of a Franken-kit here. We can just unload everything in here. So we can use P5 just for the stack. So then we just want to set the output. So yeah, we're going to put the overheads on output 10, stack on output 10. We got our stack, boys. Some room on the stack though too, just a little bit. Okay, so that's the overhead. Yeah, that sounds right. Dude, I forgot that you guys probably don't remember this riff at all. And you know what? you don't need to remember what that drum mix sounded like. You can just listen to this new version. We'll just listen to this. I also need my new bass tone, which we did do programmed bass on this. We did Euro bass. Euro bass is fun. Dude, Euro bass sounds great. Let's just get our new bass mix, like our new bass processing that we've been doing, and like let's stick with Euro bass. We can go ahead and do the Nano Cortex reamping now, I think. Like I'm happy with this tone. Yeah, that sounds killer. Let's go ahead and reamp. So I set up my tracks for that already earlier. So basically what we need to do for this is go into settings, and we're gonna change the input and output device to Nano Cortex. So I'm using it as my input device right now. So that's what I'm recording through. The only reason I have Universal Audio Thunderbolt still as my output device is so I can hear what I'm working on. So I can have the output of Logic coming through my monitors, because I was not going to rewire my monitors to the Nano Cortex. But what we need to do is set the output device as the Nano Cortex as well, because we are going to be using digital ins and outs of the Nano Cortex to be able to reamp. So these are my dry DIs right here. Now what we'll do is make the output of the raw DIs output 3 or 4. So that's going to send it to the input of the Nano Cortex. So we go up to my reamp track here. My input is set to input 3. We can turn this EQ off. We don't need that right now. So my input here is set to input 3. So that's going to record the processed signal of the Nano Cortex onto that track. So let's do it. Okay, there we go. We have our riff reamped through the Nano Cortex tone that I just dialed in. Hell yeah, dude. Sounds great. Okay, since I'm riding to it, I should remember how to play this riff. So let me hear the DIs real quick, because I feel like hearing the DIs will help me learn this quickly. I could go back and watch the video, right? I could pull this shit up on YouTube. It's not like I documented the entire process of writing this riff or anything. God damn it, you dummy. Just watch the video. Here we go.
Series I'm starting called Thick Riff Thursday, where every
So
Thursday,
young.
Well, most Thursdays.
Dude, I was already just like so not ready to commit to every Thursday. But look at us now. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so let's just listen to this through and think about what I hear coming out of that last riff there. Okay, first of all, Why has it taken me this long to come back to this riff to try to add on to it? This shit slaps. This metric modulation part, just like once your ears get locked into this tempo, and then this hits, is like, it's like, oh shit. Oh shit. That's so gross. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, okay, I got something going here. Okay, so we're gonna need to actually put this in the new tempo because I think how we recorded this before, I didn't actually change the tempo. I just kind of recorded triplets over the old tempo. Not triplets over the old tempo, but like I just made the old tempo feel like triplets. Maybe I should just reprogram the drums and bass in the new tempo, starting at that metric modulation part out of the chorus. Metric modulation calculator. Let's find what this is. Crotchet. What the fuck is a crotchet? God damn it. Okay, it's with a T. That's crochet. What's crotchet? Okay, a crotchet is a quarter note. Just call it a quarter note. And then we want a quaver triplet. Quaver, okay, so a quaver is an eighth note. So we need it to be the 188, 63, that can't be right. That can't be right. I think what we're looking for is crotchet triplet. So that's going to be 125 is our new tempo. There we go, dude. Ooh, okay, so that's a actually odd number of bars. So maybe what we could do is extend this out, or we could try to fill it out to be the rest of the bar. I have an idea, because we need to iron this part out. Okay, extend those out until the end of the bar. So now we got to reprogram the drums since we changed the tempo. Oh my God. All right. I just panicked and started doing triplets at the end. That is so awkward. Okay. And then we need the stack. That was rough. So we can start hitting some accents here is what we kind of did in the first demo. Little drum moment here at the end. So now what we need to do is take the old MIDI from the... Can I flex? Hold up. I can just flex MIDI? Did that work? That like kind of almost worked. That's like a little off. It's a little bit off. Oh, because I think I did it a little bit wrong. It should stop right there. Dude, if I do this right. Did I just discover that? Everybody else probably knew about that by now. Oh my God, you can just like flex MIDI. I thought you could only do that with audio. Dude. I didn't know you could do that. That's sick. All right, let's get a scratch take of this riff real quick. Cool. There we go. That's sick. We're using the low 8 string on there. Let's think of a cool drum groove for this. All right, that's about what I want the kicks and snares to do. Yeah, I'm thinking like a halftime thing. All right, that was also bad, but I think we'll just edit and make it good. Yeah, I definitely want some of that kind of stuff in there. Yeah, some like accents on that. Ghost notes too, for sure. Okay, let's hear that in context. Yeah, that's sick. I like the drum part so far. Let's go ahead and get a double for the guitars. There we go. That was a good take. Retake that old scratch take too. Just messed up a little bit, but I can use one of the earlier takes. All right, let's program bass real quick. We got to do a slide. You can slow that slide down a little bit. Start it a little bit earlier too. Yeah, there we go. We have that somewhere, actually. Yeah, right there. Snag that from the riff from before. There we go. There's our first half. Let's copy and paste all of that. Just got to change this middle section here. Ba-do. We can punch that in. Ooh, that's low, dude. Okay, so as a little thought experiment, how would this rhythm, maybe not this chord progression yet, but how would this rhythm feel in the new tempo to try to get us back to where we were before? That's such a weird, such a weird pulse in the new tempo. Okay, I have an idea here. So using this chorus rhythm, we can use that rhythm in the new tempo and create like kind of a chuggy breakdown thing with it. So like... We'll just circle back around every 2 bars so it's not like weird. I don't know, something. It's an idea. It's an idea. I'm thinking maybe putting a lead over that too, but we'll see. Let's build out the drums real quick first. That'll give us an opportunity for some nasty ghost notes too on the snare. It's such a weird rhythm. Oh yeah, ghost notes all over this. I know we've been using the stack a lot, but I kind of want to use the stack again. It just feels right for this riff, dude. That's pretty nasty, actually. That was a pretty good take, I think. Let's take the kicks, plop that MIDI up there on the bass, and our bass is pretty much programmed. I have an idea for the first couple beats of the repetition. Quick 16th note triplets. Da, 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 da. That could actually be really sick. That was a good one. Oh God, let me get myself scoliosis from all these shrimp riffs. I really like that tail end. Like, I like using that. There we go. Yeah, like a little fill there could be cool. Yeah, nice. Let's find some other Nano Cortex tones to fill out this chuggy part. Some like spacey stuff, maybe. This Clean My Dreams preset is crazy. Like the first Nano Cortex video I did, I used this. Man, it's such a great clean tone. Ooh. Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I want some spacey shit going on, and I need this to be a stereo track so I can get my spaciness in stereo. Don't overthink it. Let's just do it. Hell yeah. Let's see what other stuff we can do. I said a lead would be sweet. We have Thick Lead Thursday as a preset in there. It's not a factory preset, but it's one I made back on the first Nano Cortex video. That'll do. Let's noodle around, shall we? Dude, that little lick there is really cool over this. Okay, so the amp head on here, I believe, so John's channel 3, I'm assuming is like the Petrucci signature amp with the same cab I was using before, the Mesa with V30s in it. I wonder if we can switch the cab. Dude, you know what? That Mesa with vintage 30s in it just sounds too good. Maybe we could change like the mic on it or something. We could put the 57 off axis. Makes it a little bit more mid-focused. Which actually might help a lot. That's pretty sweet. Trying to figure out like a cool ending to it. That's a cool ending. I don't know what the placement is going to be like on that, so I'm going to record just that fill real quick and see if I can just slap it on the grid in a spot that works. Oh, it's just one bar, but it does affect what I do right before it, so I'll have to mess around with it a little bit. Okay, that was close. Completely f***ed that ending up, but I think I've got it in a earlier take. Yeah, there we go. That was perfect. I love that whole vibe. The whole vibe of that whole section right there. Okay, right on the downbeat of that riff, we're gonna need a big old bass drop. Oh yeah, Serum 2 came out? I didn't even know about it until like, I guess right when it came out. But I had no idea Serum 2 was coming out. That's sick. I gotta check that out at some point. Anyway, let's get our bass drops and shit. We gotta make it nasty. That's the one. Okay, sick. That's it, dude. We've got our riffs. Let's listen to this from the metric modulation part, but we're gonna throw the mastering chain on there real quick. All right, cool, man. Here we go. That gets groovy, dude. That gets groovy right there towards the end. That's sick, man. I'm liking where this is going. Man, I can't believe 100 episodes later, I'm finally adding on to this riff. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Thick Riff Thursday, episode 100. Unbelievable. Cannot thank you guys enough for watching these videos every week and making this community the sickest community on the internet. Don't forget Thick Riff Thursday riff contest, sponsored by Neural DSP. Win a Nano Cortex just like this one. Get those entries in before April 2nd, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. I will see you guys next week. Peace.